and a beggar's holiday in the French capital. The French baritone David Serero is here to tell us more about playing the lead in Duke Wellington's musical. David, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Well, it's my pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
Now, are you into all these new trends, iPads, music downloads, that sort of thing?
Yeah, well, it's a new technology that we all have, to face it, someday. But I'm kind of old school and like to work on the papers, and to have the music score in my hands, I'm not quite, into that new technology thing. But it's about music.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
Who knows? Well, just because the music you play is old school doesn't mean the way you read it has to be. Mm-hmm. That's the message behind the Brussels Philharmonic Orchestra's decision to abandon paper sheet music in favour of the digital tablet. Solange Mugin reports.
Sheet and classical music.
Has that convinced you, David? You're going to change?
Well, actually, at the premiere of Beggar's Holiday, I have one of my pianists who is using an iPad, for that. The problem that we had is that it ran out of battery.
Oh, no.
So he couldn't read anymore the score. So he had to switch into the paper version. So that was I hope they have enough battery,
I suppose that's the downside of it, isn't it? Something
yeah,
you've got to keep in mind.
The issue.
Next, he was one of the greatest names in 20th century jazz. Duke Ellington's career spanned more than 50 years. He composed hundreds of songs, scored for movies, and created stage musicals. One of his lesser-known works is Beggar's Holiday, which played for a short time on Broadway in 1946. And it's just arrived here in Paris.
In between what is good and what is awful, hard to figure what is legal or unlawful. There is no way to tell truth from lie or dissent from obscene. Today, some way, it's all in between.
Well, the French baritone David Serero plays the lead role of Happy Mac, a beggar who's dreaming of a better life. And David joins me here in the studio. Looking good there.
Well, it's funny because it's, as you said, a beggar who dreams to have it all, to have women, to have power, to have money, And then when he goes into the other life, when he has it all, and his name is Happy Mac, he gets into problems with the mob, and he's chased by several women. He ends up in jail, And at the end, he gets killed by the mob, and he wakes up as a beggar. And so the moral, says that, whether you're rich or poor, that you have it all or not, you always get into troubles, It's very funny. It's full of many things.
And this was on Broadway, I guess nearly 60 years ago.
Absolutely.
Why wasn't it a hit?
Well, actually, the problem that was at that time is that there were segregations, and it was the first show where Duke Ellington dared at that time to have white and black actors together in the same stage. And at that time, the police in New York didn't like it too much. So after just a few shows, they unfortunately closed the show. And after, it was kind of, they call it the blackbird, It was not they didn't like it so much to do it. It was too risky. But now it's the good time because things have changed, thank God.
And you're very busy at the moment. You're not only doing the Beggar's Holiday, you're also doing a show with Jermaine Jackson.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that and how it came about.
He's one of your cousins, no?
He's my brother.
He's your relative, right? Because you guys have the same name. I said, I'm going to meet Eve Jackson. So I called Jermaine, and I said, Jermaine, I'm going to see your sister. So he was very excited about that.
You didn't know, did you? It's actually Jackson 6.
Ah, wow.
Tell me how it came about, anyway.
Well, we had a friend in common in LA, and he told me that he knows Jermaine for the last 20 years. And I wrote a musical about an opera singer who meets a pop star. And they can talk about their differences, about their different musical education, and all the stereotypes that one can have for the other. And so actually he had also an idea about similar thing, and so we met, and right away, you know, everything got together well. And
what's he like? Tell us.
I'm sorry?
What's he like?
Oh, he's amazing. He's so funny. And we are very, I mean, the two of us together on stage is something very, very, very interesting, because also when I heard him singing, I heard a crooner voice, like Nat King Cole type, you know, very smooth, very beautiful voice. And I said, you have to sing this crooner music, you know. So I did the artistic direction, and I prepared for him an album of jazz standards. And actually on this album, we have recorded together a duet on Autumn Leaves, which is a French song originally.
Okay, well, that's something to look forward to. David, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Yves. Thank you.
And you can see David in Beggar's Holiday at the Espèce Pierre Cardin until the 27th of November.